talked about being very important. And then what is the status of the self-swab test?
So we're tracking all of that very closely. I use my time here to appeal to people specifically, the health educators, the health advocates, because I know the power with them. But to my lab directors, I really need the Abbott M2000 online, because that means we can do an extra 100,000 tests a day. And there's enormous power in that. The ability to self-test, last time I had my test here, I self-tested, so it can be done. It's straightforward. It works very well with that rapid 5-minute test. But what we now have to create, and I know that's always difficult because everybody wants one of something, we now have to create a mosaic that brings together where we know every single machine is in the United States, where our gaps are, and then align resources with need and gaps in the testing and ensure that we have the right laboratory test for the right community. So you can see there would be communities, particularly the Indian Health Service or rural communities, where that Abbott ID Now kit could be incredibly helpful, because otherwise they're shipping it all the way to a capital, maybe 3 states away, and that's going to add 2 or 3 days to the wait time, which we're trying to get away from.
Is that where we're at? The backlog, 2 or 3 days, or what would you?
It varies state by state, and we'll be talking with all of the states about really changing how we do testing in the community to really ensure that we're testing optimally. Because right now we have still focused very much on hospital diagnosis because we know it will make a difference in treatment. So these major laboratories are still putting drive-through tests at the back to all the hospital tests. And so that's where the backlog is in the drive-through tests. So I know if you're an outpatient, not an inpatient, but if you're an outpatient, that is where the delays right now are, but it's state by state. And so some states have 24-hour, 48 hours for both their outpatients and inpatients. Others have short for inpatient and longer in outpatient, and then we're trying to reconcile those two pieces.
Right.